Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to go over sharing and exporting a garden, and I've switched to this more built-out garden just because the multiple garden beds lend themselves better to illustrating some of the features that I want to show off. So the first thing that I want to talk about is how you would share a garden, and when you copy the share link and give it to somebody else, they're able to interact with the plants in your garden and kind of like view what you have and the details of these plants, but they aren't able to move any of the plants or affect the state of your garden at all. So that's a good way for getting feedback on it from other people without having them make any changes. So that's sharing, and then from here they can also hit export. But we're gonna go back, and I'll show you as the owner kind of what you can do for this export. So we're going to come back to this button here that says take screenshot. But first, if I just hit print export, then I'm going to get to this page, and you'll see I have kind of like the bones of a document that is going to be your export document. So you have your project name here. If you had any garden notes, those would appear underneath. You have the preview rendering of the the grid with the legend to indicate how big each section is. All of your labels show up there, all of your plants show up here. As soon as you hit this page, all of these automatic snapshots are created. So it has the most up-to-date and latest illustration for you. Preview is, an illustration, or sorry, an image that is generated of the garden when the design mode is set to preview or photo. It has this building spec, which is probably the most valuable thing that we can get out of this. And at any time, you can just kind of hit that refresh button to give you a new one. Here's a plan image, and if you take a peek here, you can see what that looks like. So you have kind of the simplified view. Each plant name is in the center of the circle. And then, yeah, once again, we have that building spec. So now if I make sure that I'm up to date, I can scroll down and see kind of what each of my sections of the export document will look like. I have just the overall plan view. I have the builder spec, which is the grid heavily toggled on. Each of the plant is labeled with a small little letter indicator of what it is. And there's this legend down here, which is very helpful for when you actually get out into the garden and you're planting flags to indicate where pots or plugs or seeds are going to go. You can also copy or download this if you are keeping track of your materials and your plants to buy elsewhere. So you can just copy that and put that with the rest of your stuff. Your bill of materials is exactly how many of each plant will be, along with your plant notes. So I have a couple of plant notes here. So we chose blue wild indigo. This could also be white. This has to be trimmed every year. Whatever you want to add, these will show up in this table as well. And you can copy and download this the same way. You can also edit it. We'll get to that in a minute. I just want to kind of skim through what you have on this document. So the next page is this material estimates. If we look again, you'll see that I have this like patio stone here. And then, the sidewalk, and here's a house, and here's, some garden beds. If you go down here to your material estimates, it is going to take any surface that you have, any shape that you have with a soil or a mulch pattern, and tally that up as something that needs a mulch estimate. So your total here, it calculated 225 square feet, 3 inches deep for mulch. This is your mulch estimate. And for hardscaping, this probably includes all of the sidewalk. Yep, and there you go. Here are your hardscape breakdown. Yep, that makes sense. Here's your plant appendix, which is kind of just like the skimmable details of each plant in your garden, along with the picture of it, so that you kind of know at a glance what each of them are going to look like. And then you have this bloom schedule just for your purposes to know kind of how your garden is going to come alive throughout the year. So that is kind of what you get out of the box if you make absolutely no changes to your export. But a lot of this is highly configurable. if you scroll down, these are all of your pages. And then let's say we go to the title page, I can override the title and the subtitle if I need to. So let's just call this like my walkway garden year 1, maybe. And it's going to take a second to update. And you can see I've overridden the project name and the subtitle there. On the builder spec page, which is right here, you can drill down into each of these table rows and modify the name. So if you call, let's see, what's a good example? Like Golden Zizia, if you call this Golden Alexander, you can override the name right there. Oops, typo. And if you want to include, something else besides all of this information here, that's where you would put this as well. So I could say like existing plants, just for my purposes as I'm looking at this document. Let's see what else. You can always reset that if you need to. And let's see, let's go to the bill of materials page. Again, highly configurable. You can edit or delete any row in this. So for example, if we just said Golden Zizia was an existing plant, I can hit this X button and just remove it from my materials list because I don't need to buy it. It's already there. Let's see what else. Here is another example. Let's say I wanted to override any of these fields. You can see as placeholders what they are now. But if I just wanted to call this giant blue iris, I can override the name there. I can also say I actually don't need 4. I need 3 because I'm going to get one from a friend and it's free, so I don't need to buy it. So anything there, getting one from a friend. And there you can see, this whole table at any time is editable. And you can always reset that too. So let's do that. Material estimates, kind of the same deal. You can delete all of these if you want. You can delete this whole page if you want. Like if you're not interested in having material estimates because all of that's existing infrastructure, you don't have to include it. And the same for the bloom schedule and the plant appendix. If that's too much to print out, then you can just delete it. You can also add a page, and you have a couple of different types. All of these out-of-the-box pages, like title page, builder spec, content page. The ones that I want to call attention to are probably text page, image page, and content page. So if I maybe just want a page where I am detailing like care and maintenance, how to care for the plants in this garden, then maybe I have like a write-up elsewhere, or I just want to add notes for myself for how to manage all of these plants throughout the season. So in the fall, make sure to, trim the coral honeysuckle. I don't think that's true. And then I can also say, be vigilant about making sure the Canadian anemone does not overwhelm the garden, things like that. So anytime I make a change here, it'll take a second and then this page will reload with that data. I can also add what's called a content page. So an image page, really quickly, I guess we can do, is just one page with an image that I have. So let's say I wanted to include that plan view that we saw earlier, which is not included by default. Now I have that here. A content page combines images and text. So if I do content, let's say I want 2 columns, I can say side-by-side plan, and I can have maybe the illustration preview and the builder spec preview just right next to each other. 2 columns. Here we are, next page, side by side. So now you can see kind of how that's going to look. And then, of course, I can add text underneath each of these. So I can say this is the builder spec. And here I can say this is the illustration. So, it's not endlessly configurable, but it'll give you a good jumping off point for editing, making small edits to, the builder spec. Making small edits to the document as you need them. Okay, now the last thing I want to highlight is, well, first let's generate this PDF so you can see kind of what happens there. I'm going to hit generate. It's going to kick off a job in the back end that basically takes all of the configurations that you've set and compile them into one PDF. One very important thing to know about this page is it does not save drafts. So if I was to refresh this page, all of those changes that I made with, overriding the name here, deleting that row for Golden Zizia or Alexander, I would have to re-enter those. This is all just saved kind of like on the client side. So nothing is persisted. So I hit download. Great. Let's take a look, make sure that all of our changes were saved properly. My walkway garden, that override saved. Now we have the builder spec. Let's see, giant blue iris. I'm not seeing golden Alexander. And then our plant appendix, bloom schedule, care and maintenance, and our side-by-side plan. Okay, so you can see kind of how that is rendered in the PDF form. The last thing that I want to go over in terms of your export document is if we go back to, where's this garden? Where is it? Yes. If we come back here and then I return to that button that I showed you guys earlier, that take screenshot button, let's say I want to zoom in on like this garden bed, and then I want to zoom in on this garden bed. Whoop. And then maybe one more for, oops, well, okay, well, we can just do two. We have two extra screenshots that appear under this Canvas Screenshots Extra Images section. Now, let's say I want to add a page for each of them to say, I probably can just do an image. I'm going to drag this up so that it's maybe right underneath the builder spec, and I'm going to say, garden bed 1. And I'm going to select that image, one of those images that I used. So now when I scroll down, I have a completely custom page that just focuses on this extra screenshot that I have. And I can add, maybe delete this and change this to a content page so that I can add some text underneath it if that's important. So I can come back here and I can say garden bed 1, and then I can add my image, which is here, and then I can add some text, which just says, this is year 1 garden plan. The rest will follow. You get the idea. So that's another way that you can kind of customize your export based on parts of your design. And this really comes in handy if your design is quite large. And I will say also this export document is something that I'm continually looking for ways to make better. So I definitely have stuff in the works for that. But yeah, I think overall that's a pretty good crash course in sharing and exporting your documents. I think it gives you a really tangible action plan that you can take to your real world, yard or wherever your planting space is, and make use of it. So that's it.